Hi, I'm Kenneth Wajda. I'm a professional photographer here in Colorado. Welcome to another one of my weekly photo chats. So today I want to talk about luck. How much does luck play into creating? So I would suspect and I would propose that luck has a lot of place in the world of creation. You can be somewhere, you can be ready, but then you still have to have the right elements come together, and that's where the luck is. And your camera has to be ready. You have to get the right exposure and all the tech. But the idea is you have to get the photo, right? So I was driving, my partner and I drove one weekend where we just needed to get out of the house during this pandemic. And we just took a drive and we were photographing outside of the car in different little towns. And there was this yellow bus, old VW bus that I saw in a parking lot that looked pretty vacant. I think it was an old car dealership, and the car dealership was for sale, or the property was. So there was only one vehicle there, and I had passed it. And here's a good example where I went back, and she said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm going to go back because I saw a yellow bus, and I want to photograph it." And I went back, I photographed it, and I put the camera over my head to be able to get a shot that included this blue signage structural thing. You'll see it in the photograph that I'll put below. And as I'm photographing it, a motorcycle with a yellow fin on it or tail or something complements the yellow of the bus. And between the blue and the yellow in two different places, it makes it for, if you're looking for the one photo that elevates a little bit, if you're going to edit others out, that's the one that wins. But it's completely luck. I didn't see the motorcycle. I didn't even see it till I saw the photographs. I was shooting digitally because it's color, and it was one of those things where there is something to be had for a little bit of luck. I was down in a section of Denver shooting some street from my car, and I was going past this one neighborhood where there were a whole lot of folks hanging out in front of a supermarket, and they were just kind of like, I think, getting ready for the 4th of July. It was the 3rd of July, and it was a lot of people just hanging out, families, kids, a lot of people. And there was this one man in a red, like an old Monte Carlo. I didn't see him pulling out, but as I'm shooting, he frames the whole foreground, and we get to see him in the inside of his car. And it made for a great photograph. And it made for me the one photograph that elevates beyond all the other photographs because it has this great foreground background that I wasn't planning, but luck came into play. And I think it's important to have a little bit of luck and believe that I'm a lucky person. And that luck happens twice a week to me, sometimes more. Because I think the people who believe in luck and believe in I will find that specialness, they end up manifesting that. And I always consider myself a lucky person. I find work, I find shoots, I find jobs. I got my photojournalist job by walking into a place and saying, "Hey, I want to shoot for you." And the guy handed me a photo assignment to go shoot a local charity hospital benefit fashion show. And I shot it, and it was in the paper the next day. And I worked for him for a year, and I asked him one day, I said, "Why did you hire me that day?" And he said, "Because you picked up that assignment and nobody else could do it that day." And then I walked up to another newspaper that I ended up staying with 13 years, and I said, "I've been working for this other paper. I want to work for you because you're bigger." And I happened to catch the photo editor who was away on a vacation. And the assistant said, "Well, I guess I have the right to hire people. I'm the assistant. I'm in charge. Okay, I'll hire you." When things happen, things happen. I got a whole bunch of work for the U.S. military, photographing and filming for a suicide prevention program called the Wingman Project. I had made a short film for a local contest back in Boulder back in the early 2000s, and he happened to come upon it and see it. And he said, "I don't know who this is. I want him to be on my team." Luck happens. But you have to consider yourself lucky. You have to believe that luck is happening all the time and I'm ready for some. I can get it 5 days a week if I'll take it 5 days a week. Yeah, I like the luck. I want good luck. But it's a mindset. It's a manifestation. So are you a lucky person? If you say you are, what will come to you? What will happen in your photographs? What will show up in a yellow motorcycle that matches the yellow bus? Because the magic is there. And it's just a matter of tapping into it and being ready for it and looking for it when you do your edit. The magic is there. And it takes some work to shoot and, show up and create. You have to be creating. There's that old line that says, the muse exists, but it has to find you working. It doesn't show up when you're not working. So the muse exists. Get to work. And get lucky. All right, that's today's photography talk. A little philosophic. If you're enjoying these, hit the subscribe button. If you can support, hit the Patreon. A cup of coffee a week would be great. Or a beer. I'll be back next week. We'll talk photography. As always, here's the good light.